Okay, hello Internet. We are now recording for episode 105 of Enter the Dungeon. Who wants to give the recap of what happened last time? Michael?
Not it.
Nose goes. Okay, Michael, looks like you're up.
My nose was on my hand.
Unfortunately, your nose was not on camera, so...
And it does have to be your nose, Michael. We established that last time.
True?
It can't be someone else's nose.
My hand was on my nose.
Completely doubt it. Couldn't see it. Couldn't prove it.
Yeah, we don't even know if you have a nose.
Do I have a nose?
Wait. If you didn't have a nose, then that would just be an unfair game, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't.
Not it.
It's called a deterministic game, not a... It's like heads I win, tails you lose. It's not unfair, it's deterministic.
Anyway, will one of you just go?
We aggressed the pigs, some of the pigs turned into orcs, we killed both, and then we went inside.
Yeah. I've noticed trying to get someone to do the recap is like trying to get someone in a youth group to lead the prayer.
We don't want to do it.
Am I wrong?
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Pulling teeth, hurting cats, something like that.
Hurting cats.
Okay.
You ever tried to get more than one cat to do what you want at a time?
Have you ever tried to get one cat to do what you want?
I do it all the time.
Yeah. Anyway.
Alright. Yeah. Back into it.
Anyone want to add anything to that?
No, that was pretty accurate.
Yeah. I mean, Thitch beat another man to death.
True. Is this space because you want to count how many people have killed?
I don't think we have a good handle on that number. I think it's a little bit too big for us to wrap our heads around.
Yep.
I mean, we could talk about that later.
Fine, I'll do a master kill count at some point. Should we just get back into character then?
Yes.
Okay, you guys will all refer back to the battle map.
I keep forgetting we have one of those.
I thought it was just a map.
I mean, just the map,
Okay.
the board map, the game board.
Yeah. Drew, you're telling me we're going to battle inside the house?
No, there's going to be absolutely no encounters in here.
Oh, phew. I'm sure those orcs I heard from the other room are going to be absolutely peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could
considering you made super short work of the other three, they might.
You know, we could also just burn down the house.
You could, but then
We'd have everything inside. Oh, right. We're here to look for something.
Yeah, you're not just here to kill people.
Can we short rest real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, we did a short rest.
We
Where was it?
haven't done short rest yet.
Oh, wait. Did we or did we not?
I don't think we rolled for anything yet, no.
No, we have not.
Okay, I always forget. I wrote it down somewhere how many dice I have.
It's gonna be your level in. Well, you're a sorcerer warlock, so for the warlock it's a collection of d8s, and for the sorcerer levels it's d6s.
Oh, for each level it's a dice.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna roll 1d8 and 1d6.
Okay. Are the other two of you gonna roll?
I regain.
Investigation? Oh, wait. Yeah, hold on. Because I'm at what? Give me a second. I'm at 23 health. Yeah, I'm gonna heal up. It's For short rest, I roll hit dice.
Yeah, you can expend hit dice. It's been a while since we've had a short rest, hasn't it?
Yeah, so it says 68 or 1d8. I'm assuming it's 1d8.
You can roll.
So
As
the
many as
6
you want.
is for the monk, the 1 is for the warlock.
So 7d8.
Yes, you can roll
Oh.
up to 7d8. But if you
Oh,
want, you
okay.
can roll
I got
one
it.
die at a time to see
Yeah, you
how
can
much you're
roll
healing
one.
back.
Alright, cool.
Or we can do hard mode and you have to declare the number you're rolling ahead of time as if you were drawing from the deck of many things.
I tend to do that anyway.
That'd suck.
I tend to know both how poorly I normally roll and what average health I'll get from that. Well enough to just do them. That's right there. I went from 39 to 41 in 3D.
I went from 23 with 2 dice to 38, so I got a 7 and an 8. I might roll one more time, but...
You add con to your regain health as well for each die.
Do I get spell slots back?
I think only wizards recover spell slots on a short rest. But
I think that's
I think you just have a lot of spell slots anyway, so and you also have all the sorcery points.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Alright, with 3 hit dice, I'm at full health. And I only expended 1 key.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, let's see if your luck carries over to this session, Chris, because you got like 4
I
net
know.
last time.
I know. I was like, that's it. That's gonna be it for like the rest of this.
This
little
is where
arc.
Thitch dies, I guess.
Yeah.
He overexpended his luck. But okay.
Unless I just constantly start rolling ones, to which.
Oh, and actually, Thitch, I do need you to make me a perception check.
Oh goodness. As you were speaking, a nat 20.
Yeah, but you can reroll those, right? Okay, so while you're resting up, Thitch, and I presume meditating, right?
Yeah.
You actually feel something tugging at your key.
Oh?
Yeah, I thought about being ambiguous about that, but no, you probably know what it feels like when you activate your key, so it's kind of similar to that.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm imagining it's kind of like an 8th sense.
8 cents?
Yeah, you feel like
I already have a 6th and a 7th. There's gotta now have to add an 8.
yes, human bodies have 7 senses. You know that, right?
What?
Yeah, there's the 2 lesser talked about ones. One of them is about basically keeping balance. I think that's called the vestibular. And then there's another one that lets each body part know where the rest of the body is in relation to itself.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk about those
I'm going to
later.
say that you probably have that, monks, they probably do have that 8th sense. And you've probably felt it before when you sense things with your key.
Okay.
Yep. And yeah, so you feel like there's something trying to get your attention by contacting through your key somewhere in this house.
Okay. What does it feel? It's like pulling me towards it, or is it like
It's just kind of like someone to get your attention. Like this is communicating using this sense. It's like something that you might not necessarily know yet. It
It's
would
like
be like
unfamiliar.
you
It's the
hearing
first
something
time.
for the first time. You know
Okay.
that, hey, this is probably something, but I don't know what.
Wow, this is new.
Yeah.
I guess I stop meditating and I look around.
It's just the 4 of you in this room. Well, 5 if you count the Raven.
I don't.
Okay.
It's the extension of myself. So I guess I go back to meditating to see what in the world or I guess I go back to meditating and seeing what else other people do. I mean, like, I tried looking for it. Like, I try to like see if I can recreate it. I meditate.
So you're trying to respond?
Not exactly. I mean, like, I don't know how to respond.
Okay.
So I guess I try doing whatever, and can you? I'm gonna roll a d4. It's gonna be respond. I'm gonna respond, detect, or like I don't know, a sense of direction. I'm trying to see randomly what would happen.
Okay, so
And I roll the.
I'll give you a couple options how to do that. If you want, I guess you can either expend a key point or a charge on your gem, depending on which way you want to do this.
Okay. How many key points do I have again? It's like
It's 1 per
5?
monk level, I think.
6, so I have 5 left.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing how I think we could have explored most of the house already. Raven. Sure, I'll spend a key.
Okay.
I'll spend a key trying to meditate. And if you want, you can roll a D. Let me see. I can either respond, detect.
Okay. I feel like this should be a type of skill.
It's probably a skill check.
Yep. Go ahead, just roll plus wisdom and proficiency. I'm gonna say that you're basically making a monk check.
Okay. Wisdom?
Yes. Which is famously high. Right, Andreas?
Yeah.
Hold on. That's not a skill, but I guess I'll roll for it anyways.
Yeah, it's a custom skill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're using your wisdom.
So
modifier.
13.
Hmm.
13.
13 total?
Yeah.
Is that with proficiency?
That's with the mod. Oh, not with proficiency, no.
Yes.
My proficiency bonus is +3, so 16.
Okay, so with a 16, what's the best way to describe it? So I'm imagining basically it's like someone's sending out a homing signal, and you basically were able to just sort of send one in response. And now you feel like there's just been sort of another beep back. So you definitely feel like there's definitely another monk somewhere nearby, or someone else with key powers.
Or I see what you mean. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so you definitely are able to get like a back-to-back communication. So you definitely know that there's
what
presence
direction.
here. But you don't.
I guess either that I sent it out in all directions.
Yes.
And it just happened to come back just like how sonar kind of works.
I feel like if you were to do this a few more times, you might be able to triangulate it, but that would get kind of costly.
Yeah, I might. Okay, all right.
Okay. And do you want to relay that information to your allies?
Yeah. Hey, Earth Mover and Geralt. I think there's something going on inside this building. There might be another monk.
Okay.
If you see a monkly person-ish, let me know.
Okay.
All right. So where do you guys want to go now?
So I also should have already relayed the information that I've already checked most of the rest of the house. Do I let them know? Yes, of course I let them know what the rest of the house holds that I could find, and I tell them which rooms I have not yet explored in.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, on the map, basically, obviously the exposed areas is where he's seen, and the hidden areas is where he hasn't.
Yes. Also, there are orcs behind that door. And not the one to our left, but I point over here.
Okay. Okay. What do the rest of you want to do with that information? Andreas? Thitch just told you that he heard orcs behind the door.
Oh, good. I mean, we've already killed, 2 outside. Do we want to deal with this?
Unless you're
Well,
literally referring to the 3 of you, in which case you killed 2, because Gordon killed 1.
About how many do you think you hear?
Perception check.
Well, actually, if you're listening at the door, you heard them like earlier, and now you don't necessarily hear them anymore.
That's weird. I don't hear them anymore.
I don't like that.
What's our game plan here?
Do you want to try and group up and just push into the room and see what's going on?
That seems like a good idea. Harold?
Yeah, sure.
All right, then I'll put myself. So yeah. Before I do, I want to send in my check my raven. Put my raven's head through the door, just to like go in first, kind of.
It's kind of evil.
Huh?
It's kind of evil.
What are you talking about? It is literally my eyes, but it's a smaller head, so it's less conspicuous.
So you're just like slowly opening the door and having the raven.
Yeah, it's like scanning. And
The room seems to be open through raven eyes. You want to go in further?
Guys, you think there's a trap?
I feel like there's another area that
Yeah.
they run to.
Shoot. Raven. Well, I start looking at the room and see what I can see.
Okay, is the raven going in? I'm asking because you can only really see so much just through tiny raven eyes just at the doorway, so...
Okay, fine. Raven, fly. So I have it fly across the ceiling and like do a quick sweep as fast as possible. In and
we
out.
do have a stat block for the raven. Is your raven trying to be fast or stealthy? Or hopefully both?
I mean, it's gonna try for both. Do I roll for it?
So if we can get to the raven's stat block, which I put somewhere, a raven has a dexterity of +2 if you want to have it stealthily sneaking around.
And what would be counting for speed?
That would probably be... Normally I would say acrobatics, but the fact that it's a bird and is using wings, that would probably also be dexterity.
Would it be strength?
Normally it would be... Actually, no, because it would be trying to exert a lot of force to fly with. So yeah, that would be using its really bad strength, which is the -4.
Oh, God. So I guess stealthy it is.
Yes. Oh, there's the raven.
So it's a +2 on stealth?
Yes.
D20? D20, right?
Mm-hmm.
How's the 13 total?
Okay. With a 13 total... Actually, you have the element of surprise, so you get advantage. Go ahead and roll again.
Oh, okay.
Not that there's anything for it to be surprising. The theoretical element of surprise.
How's the 17 then?
Yeah, with a 17, your raven is is flying around the ceiling area of this place. Looks looking down, and you notice that there does seem to be an orc who seems to be mixing some kind of potion at a table. And surrounding him, there's just like a whole bunch of bushes that seem to have sprung up and be growing inside the room.
No, not the bushes. I'm kidding there. I wasn't really hyperventilating. I relay that information to Geralt. Hey, there's bushes inside there.
Okay.
There's a
Is
guy.
he supposed to know what that means?
No, I'm continuing on. There's bushes inside there. I'm leading with that, but then I say there's an orc brewing some potions.
Geralt.
Also, in case you wanted to systematically rip up all those bushes, I went through the liberty of numbering them for you.
Geralt kind of wants to start a fire.
I know, but we're inside of a house and we still haven't gotten the item. That's the only thing stopping us from lighting the whole entire house.
Okay, game plan before we go in, or before we have to deal with people. If we find what we need, we'll burn the house down.
Yeah, because...
Earthmover?
Okay. I don't remember specifically if the Grand Chancellor showed you his half of the artifact, but we're just going to retcon that he did. Otherwise, you guys would have no real reason. Otherwise, you guys would be here forever just trying to examine every random piece of jewelry you find.
Okay.
Or like, hey, there's an old spoon. Maybe that was it.
All right.
So I'm going to say that you guys know that you're basically looking for the other broken half of a circular amulet.
Also, did I see the full of the room, or is it still like?
Yeah, this is the full of the room.
Okay.
That black spot seems to go to another room.
Oh, okay.
There.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that makes more sense. All right. We gotta stop that ogre from brewing that potion. Whatever it is, it must help him in some way. So, how about we mess up the potion? If we mess it up, we can't take it.
Do we know it's a potion?
I mean, what else would an orc brew? Tea?
It could be soup.
Could be soup.
Raven's looking at the potion, or the pot, rather.
It doesn't look like a soup. At least not any soup you're familiar with. Oh wait, can the ravens see in colors?
They're probably.
I feel like we've had this conversation a few times now, and I think my issue is less do ravens themselves see, and rather what you can see through the raven.
Okay, yeah. I guess it does my brain register all of the light that...
Well, probably not ultraviolet. The real question is, can you see color through your sentinel
Yes,
raven?
I would think so. Because it's essentially my eyes. And plus I get dark vision from it too.
Yeah, but you can't see colors through dark vision. That's my main hang-up.
Is it dark in here?
No.
Well then,
What color is it?
what difference? Not being able to see the colors is a feature of dark vision while you are only seeing in the dark.
Yeah, fair point. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it seems to be like a brownish, greenish liquid.
It's a brownish, greenish liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Is it bubbling?
Right now, he seems to be stirring it. And you can't necessarily see any
right.
bubbles, but it is over a small fire, so he's at least keeping it warm.
It's being kept warm by a fire and he's stirring it. And it's a brownish, greenish liquid. I assume that's a potion.
Mm-hmm.
What's around him? Like on the ground near him?
He seems to be surrounded by bushes. And
Well,
so,
I mean, like,
actually,
is
if
there
the
any
Raven's taking a
cookware?
closer
Are there
look-
any jars of anything? Or is he just pot, stick, fire?
yeah, it seems like he's got some miscellaneous jars and a few boxes around him.
Huh.
And by the way, the Raven's looking closer now. You actually notice that parts of the floor, they seem to have been worn away, just going straight to dirt, and that's where these bushes are coming from.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not just growing straight on the wood of a log cabin.
All right, so
Can you see the remaining contents of any of those jars?
I would think so.
What's in the jar?
What's in the box?
Yeah, I would think that well, there's plenty of closed jars in there, and then if you open but empty ones, I don't know if Thitch knows enough about potion brewing to recognize them at a glance.
No, but I know how to mess one up.
Alright.
So I say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Raven to knock a random ingredient into the pot.
I mean, he's looking directly at this pot. You realize how difficult.
But where's the ingredient?
Right?
Is it back to the Raven or front to the Raven?
Like, I mean, either way, he's looking directly at the pot. So how are you going to get something in it?
Just drop the whole open jar in it.
Yeah, open jar, toss, boom.
Okay. So at that point, you don't care about subtlety. You're not trying to subtly put something in there.
Yeah, but we're also going to ambush him. So that's why I'm going to say on the count of 3, we're all going to do this at the same time. So to just absolutely surprise him. All right, you ready?
Do you guys want to use your same initiative orders as last time?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Would this give us advantage towards our initiative if we were to reroll?
Don't really know if you. Not really.
Because
you guys, no matter what, you're likely going to be going before this guy. Because it sounds like it's not going to start until Thitch's turn, no matter what, because he controls the Raven.
Right. Okay. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try using the Raven. And I'm going to get to the pot as fast as I can. And then physically put another ingredient inside there just in case. If my Raven fails to. And or I could also just not. How heavy is this? How big is this pot?
Say medium size.
I can knock it over, right?
You definitely. The Raven, not so much.
All right.
It's filled with fluid, so it's going to be heavy.
Figured. All right. You ready?
All
right. 3, 2, 1. I immediately burst the door open, and my Raven goes to one of the jars to pick it up and put it in the pot. And I roll a d20, and I get natural 17 for a Raven.
So, I guess this is going to be plus Dex. I presume that you're having the Raven drop this in before you barge into the room, right?
No, I'm trying to do it at the same time so the rogue, whatever it is, like it's like multiple, his just bombarded with things that are happening and he doesn't know which one to deal with.
Okay,
So I guess as soon as the Raven grabs the jar, I open the door. So maybe to see which one the guy pays attention to.
Okay, so are you trying to so you're trying to distract him, right?
I guess, yeah.
So as a bonus action, I guess you're gonna need to roll something charisma based, perhaps it doesn't really sound like you're trying to scare him. Maybe performance. If he had a reason to be scared of you in this, I mean, he does have a reason to be scared of you. He just doesn't know it yet.
It's just sudden.
Yeah, in that case, go ahead and just try to intimidate him. Just try to jump scare an orc. That'll end well.
15 plus what? Charisma, you said?
Yes.
18.
This, I'm gonna make a wisdom saving throw. 1 second. Where's my d20? That's not connecting, huh? For him. Yeah, he jumps back frightened. Like, he actually, accidentally, like, since he's stirring, knocks some of it out of the pot by accident, which I guess gives the raven ample time to drop in something.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
Okay. I'm gonna say that was Thitch's turn, so that's gonna bring us next to... Looks like the orc's gonna go. How close did Thitch try to get to him?
Okay, so say that again.
How close did Thitch get to him?
I guess I'm running full speed straight at the pot.
Ah.
So as far as I get,
Okay.
let me see. How many feet is this?
Each box is 5 feet, so you can
So
move
I-
7 boxes per turn.
So I guess I can reach the pot, can't I?
You can get about that close.
Can I kick it?
So the raven is currently over the pot,
Yeah.
and you have short legs. And it's behind you, so not yet.
Can
Or
I kick
the pot's behind the orc.
Can I kick the orc?
No, it was basically your full action to do those maneuvers with the raven.
All right, cool. Yeah, I guess
So you're the intruder.
There's a bush.
Yeah, and he goes to try, and he's wearing no, I guess he wouldn't be wearing that weapon, would he? Instead, he's just going to try to grab at you with his hand.
Ooh, a grappling.
Okay.
Would I be able to use? Wait, hold on.
Does a 19 beat your armor class?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay. Yeah, he grabs you, and just a rush of electricity flows into your body, and you take 10 lightning damage.
Ugh. Ouch.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to take any reactions until the start of your next turn.
Oof. That hurt.
And he tries to shoo away the raven, but I'm assuming that there's no response.
No.
Okay, now it's Earthmover's turn.
Here I come, I guess. Six.
You didn't just walk through the wall, did you?
No, I went through the door.
Okay. I was kind of walking through a wall. I mean, you are Earthmover. You might have just knocked out a wall.
Yeah.
But that would require an action.
I keep forgetting I have spells now.
You also have a frying pan you can throw.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just do that for the frying pan. So plus 1 to hit.
Yeah, when you get infusions next level, are you going to make this thing return to you when you throw it?
Probably.
Hey.
And not on an edge. I'm guessing 11 doesn't
Isn't that
hit.
called loyalty?
Doesn't 11 hit?
No. And don't worry, it doesn't hit the raven.
That's good.
Yeah, this guy's really confused. A bird tried to drop something in his potion. A halfling ran up to him. A Goliath is throwing cookingware at him. Luckily, he hasn't been hurt yet.
Luckily?
And he is are you with this short one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're the intruders.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes. Where are your other friends? Gerald, it's your turn.
Hey, speak of the other friends.
So we're trying to kill this guy, right?
If you want to be. Have you
I
ever
don't
thought
know,
about not killing someone?
Earlier
not
in the
really.
campaign.
Earlier in the campaign? Is this just a cold-blooded murderer now?
I mean, he's a pirate.
He was a pirate
Okay,
before the campaign.
Geralt doesn't trust these bushes, so he's gonna destroy one. Wait, actually, before that, I forgot what our goal was here. We're trying to knock over the
Pot.
pot.
Yeah. The potion that he was brewing.
Are we sure it's a potion?
It looks like one.
So for some reason, I'm not really. I think no. If you knew that we were already here. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's try to knock over the pot. Can Geralt use Eldritch Blast against the pot?
Yes.
All right. That's what I'm gonna do. Do I have to roll an attack roll on that?
Yeah, that'll be attack rolls, but it'll have a pretty low armor class.
Okay. Well, oh, the 3, so.
Well, plus all your mods.
True, yes. Plus proficiency in charisma, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a 10.
Yep, a 10's just enough, and go ahead and just don't bother with. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Wait. No, I have a. Yeah, I have two beams. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because
do
I'm
you
a
really
little-
want to aim them both at the cauldron?
True. Yes.
Okay.
Good point. No, I don't want to roll them both at the cauldron. I'll just aim one at them. One at it. So 1d10. And that's a 6.
Plus, or 6 for the damage.
6 for the damage.
Yeah, with that, you just blast out this pot, knocking out a huge chunk of it, and just the contents of it start pouring out.
Well, actually, Geralt was also going to pull it towards him.
Okay, so you're pulling out this leaking potion towards you. It's like you just harpooned a bottle of water.
Bro.
And I
And
guess we're
Geralt-
dragging it through Thitch, or past Thitch.
Geralt's also going to shoot one of the bushes.
We'll tell you, how close do you bring it?
I think it's 10 feet.
And which bush you want to hit?
Oh. Bush 12.
Okay.
You want me to roll for damage or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So I just got an 11. Does an 11 hit?
And 11 just seems to miss it.
Oh, okay. What?
Oh wait,
Yeah, I'm gonna say
what?
that you were so distracted trying to pull over the bush that you just you're trying to pull over the pot that like you had your hand too far to the left.
Why does this bush have pretty high AC? All right, let's continue.
Okay, Daryl, gonna do anything else?
I don't think there's anything else I can do.
I'm starting to get sweaty because I know my PTSD is going through the roof. You knows exactly what I'm talking about too.
And the orc man, he shouts something in Orcish,
No.
and one of the bushes, some of the bushes start to move. One of them walks over towards Thitch.
Can I have a reaction?
You can't take reactions until the.
Oh no!
I'm guessing a 9 is a miss.
Yes.
Okay.
Luckily.
Well, another one of them walks under the raven
Raven?
and just on top of the cauldron. I'm guessing an 8 is a miss.
On the Raven?
On the Thitch.
Oh, yeah. 8 misses Thitch.
Although, shouldn't these have advantage against you because of your fear of bushes? Happen, right?
No clue, actually.
No, that's a joke. I'm not gonna pull that against you.
Oh, thanks.
Unless you want it to work.
No, I don't want it to work like that.
Okay. Let's see now. Well, Thitch, do you want the good news now?
Yes?
It's your turn.
Yes, okay. Yes, that is good. Now, question.
Yes.
What's the orc doing?
He's staring you down.
He's not reaching for anything?
Not presently. I mean, he grabbed you with his shocking
Right.
grasp and then pulled his
Did
hand
I...
back.
Oh, also, did I see legs on the bushes?
Not really. It just seems to be moving along in an amorphous manner.
Okay. Let's do some punches.
On who? On Earthmover?
No, not on her. What? Why? Okay, so first, I'm going to work from 1 downwards. And also my Raven's going to move away from the battlefield.
Okay.
So it's going to more sit in the corner to be my eyes.
So your Raven's moving away?
Yes, into the corner as I go to punch the nearest bush
Okay.
in front of me. That's the natural 14.
That hits, roll damage.
Is it D6 or D8 now?
D6 plus your dexterity modifier, I think.
Alright, so Dex mod is +4, I think. Yes, +4. Alright, so 10 damage for first punch.
You punch into this bush, you get it right in its woody center, and it just collapses apart, snapping into 2 pieces.
Punch again. I'm using key for this. I'm this turn too.
Okay. Number 3, I assume?
Yes, the one that moved. Yeah.
Okay.
It's plus Dex, right?
Yes. It's a +7 to attack, Chris.
Oh,
plus yeah, Dex plus proficiency.
Oh, right. Completely forgot. So then, if I were to roll a 5,
That's a miss.
plus 7.
Yeah, you just
5 plus
oh
7.
yeah, 5 plus 7. That's a miss.
14?
5 plus 7.
12. That's a 12. Never mind.
Yeah, you're punching at its leaves and you can't make any direct contact with it.
All right. Awesome. Next punch. 15 plus 7.
That's a hit.
D6. 9.
Yeah. Yeah, this time, you're just like punching through all of its leaves and they just keep falling apart and then this thing falls over dead.
I'm glad. Okay, I've got 2 more punches?
Yes.
No.
2 more because you flurry of blowed.
Right.
No, wait, you already used 3, didn't you?
Yeah, 3.
Then yes, you have 1 left.
Punch 1 to kill, miss, kill.
Okay, you have 1 punch left. What do you want to hit?
Well, it's a natural 19, so it automatically hits, right?
Yes, but who?
This time, since I haven't seen any of the other bushes move, I'm punching the big orc guy straight.
So you
in
want
his
to step
head.
forward and punch the orc?
Scratch that. I'm not stepping towards him yet. I'm gonna be punching number 6 beside me
Okay.
because at this point I'm pretty paranoid. So now I'm just starting to punch every bush in this room. How's 10 damage?
Yeah, you also kill number 6. You basically give it. Yeah, you just sucker punch a bush into death.
I'm glad it's not gonna move. Heck, it's supposed to.
Oh, why are you killing my experiments?
They move.
Who sent you?
Wait, your experiments?
Yes, I get it.
Pause.
Pies, what?
Did the Wizard College send you to shut down my operation?
Not really.
Oh, you're sent here to gather an item.
Does that item require you kill me?
You
No.
attacked first, to be fair.
Yes, that is also true.
You attacked
Yes, after
first,
this
right?
one rushed towards me in a threatening manner, and your bird over there tried to mess with my potion.
Yes, after your buddies decided to try and kill us.
Yes, there were.
You're also trespassing on our property.
Well, if you don't want to die, you should probably be a little bit nicer.
All right. Did you come here for a potion?
What potions do you
No,
have?
we came here to collect an item that we were after.
What item?
It's Geralt describes the other half.
I also get a light bulb goes on in Thitch's head.
Yeah, so basically the 2 halves of the amulet, basically it's a circle with a tower in the middle surrounded by stars. Yes, the star totem, that is worn by Master Frumthigor. That is what you seek, our master's totem?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if that fits the description.
I get it. You have come here to steal our magical secrets?
No.
No, we
And to
literally
kill us all?
We literally only
no,
want one item.
We only came here for that one thing.
Yes, yes. You want our powerful artifact.
Where's your master now?
I'm
need to
not
speak with
telling
him.
you.
I mean, this doesn't
Tell
have
us
to
a-
be a violent process.
Yes, you've seen what I've done.
Tell us, or I can assure you will die.
Oh,
here.
can I roll
You did some
intimidation?
gardening, and he refers to the bushes you punched out.
Can I roll intimidation?
You also owe me for the expensive ingredients you wasted when you spilled my potion. I was trying to make more plants come to life.
Yet
Why is
those
that a
plants
thing that you
attacked.
want to happen?
Wait, what'd you say, Andreas?
Why is that a thing you want to happen?
I am a magical student who is just seeking ways to better understand magics. And my current studies are about animating plants. Do you know why we are here?
No.
No.
We are a religious order to the god Torde. Do you know who Torde is?
Not even
Oh,
a little
dear.
bit.
If you dare mention, I will show you who the god Kith is. But if I hold on, please. I don't want to fight. I do have a proposition for you, but we do have to get this item first. It will
Okay.
benefit you in great deal.
What's your proposition?
So
Happening?
you give us the item, and I can possibly help you gain a business.
A business?
Yes.
Is this a trap?
No, it is not.
This guy just seems really confused at this point.
How do I roll to try and show sincerity, or like to show
Like,
sincerity?
well, I think you're gonna need to demonstrate your honesty here a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe demonstrate your intentions. Tell him more about what you're offering.
So, have you ever thought about brewing beer? I saw you have some pretty nice pumpkins outside.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about pumpkin beer?
Yes, we've made that in the past.
How about gaining profit off the said pumpkins? Or even growing in your profit in making varieties of pumpkin beer. Pumpkin vodka, pumpkin wine.
We do not have need to engage in such commerce with your cities.
Yes, but do you guys not like alcohol?
We provide for ourselves with our own efforts by the grace of our divinities.
And if I were to introduce you into the divinity of wine,
You're wearing sailor garb, right? We established that. Or no, it's a monk robe. I can never remember. Is it like a sailor's robe or a monk robe or what?
I know we talked about this before. I think it was a monk robe. It was pure white, but it turned brown.
Yes.
So yeah, I could.
Are you one who often gives himself over to drink?
I would say so, yes. But thanks
We
to
temper ourselves against such things.
as you can see, I am sober now, and all my God would be is a safeguard against any ill.
He looks over to Gerald and Earthmover. Dragonkin. Giantkin. Does this one speak for you?
Oh, that's the wrong tab. That's also the wrong tab.
You
Good lord.
Andreas, are you multitasking?
Me? Never. You know my brain doesn't have the capacity for that.
Yeah, I know. It's not multitasking if you're really bad at it. It's just getting distracted.
Exactly. I know what Thitch says.
Thitch is trying to sell booze to this guy, and then the orc asks if he speaks for you.
He speaks for himself. I mean, selling alcohol is a lucrative business.
So you came here to buy the amulet from us with your alcohol business?
that's an acceptable deal for you?
I mean, we came here with the thought that there was like
No one here.
No one here. Yeah.
Wait a minute. You mentioned earlier others tried to kill you. What happened to them?
People out front?
Well,
Yes.
what happens if what would you do if someone tried to kill you?
I would try to negotiate with
And
them,
they
talk to
wouldn't-
them.
And if
I
they
tried to
didn't
speak to
stop-
them and they just continued to attack.
Exactly.
They didn't even, I don't recall.
I don't think they stopped. They just went all out. Actually,
As
No,
soon as
remember-
Yes.
they summoned thunder and lightning.
Wait,
I think
are
they
you
had-
lying to them, or are you lying to him intentionally, or do you just not remember what happened?
we
They-
approached the fence
Yes.
and they attacked us. We didn't. Did we even make it onto the property with like
No, we
our
looked
us?
we were going to approach one of the.
We were looking at the
bushes, like,
pumpkins,
the
Yes.
pumpkins. Yes, we were going to go touch one of the pumpkins.
and then suddenly there was a drove of pigs upon us, some of which turned into orcs.
Yes, the
Yes.
pigs tried to attack you. Then when you guys killed some of the pigs, one of them turned back into an orc and tried talking for a while, and then Thitch said that he wanted to sucker punch him.
I did not remember that part of it.
No, I did not want to sucker punch him. It was just that the way he was speaking was annoying. And he was trying to stall because I could
Yes.
sense that he was trying to stall, and I knew I wanted to sucker punch him for that reason.
Yes, and he was probably able to read your body language to see that you were looking for an opportunity to attack him. So that was more of just a case of Thitch not having a trustworthy appearance.
But do I have a trustworthy appearance now?
Not really.
But I have no blood on me.
You busted into this guy's lab like it was some kind of DEA raid.
Well, who does not? Who else?
I mean, he's performing suspicious magics in suspicious circumstances, religious
Yeah.
order or no.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were a small, scrawny, woman-looking figure, one might accuse you of being a witch.
And he thinks of that for a moment and says, witchcraft, I suppose that's a word for it.
So you admit you're crime? No.
Others might refer to it as alchemy.
Hang on, hey, whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Giving life to trees is not. No,
Not
no.
gimme.
This is
Oh, are you also a potion brewer?
God no. I don't like liquids. I think
I
I've
prefer
transmuted liquids
solid.
a total of 2 times in 100 episodes. I could be wrong about that.
Oh my.
Huh?
Nothing. I'm sorry. While we're doing this, I'm also trying to farm souls on Dark Souls. I just got roundhouse kicked by a mimic.
Good.
Ouch.
One shot me.
Oh, is that why you started talking about mimics?
Yes, there's a lot of them here for some reason.
Either way, back to the game. What the? Why is there 3 Drews?
What?
My computer glitched out. Hopefully, the timeline will repair itself and one of us will flip out.
Okay.
First call.
Nose goes. Nose goes.
Either way.
That's definitely how time travel would work.
I honestly thought you were just staring at me with a disapproving face, Drew.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, there it goes. Reality has caught up with itself.
Anyways, where were we?
I lost connection right after Andreas said I've transmuted liquid like twice.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I tried to point out that one of those times he was solidifying liquid by turning water into ice.
Okay.
Okay. So look, we're clearly, this is clearly all just a giant misunderstanding. Tell you what, how about I go upstairs?
No.
I can speak.
We can come with you.
Yeah, we can come with you.
How about you wait here? I'll go speak to Master Fugar. Perhaps we can seek the counsel of Brother Haygrieve.
This clearly sounds like a cult.
Sounds like bureaucracy.
Yes, if you guys will just fill out these forms in triplicate, you'll have your answer within the next 5 business days.
Murderous rage.
Oh my
Congratulations,
God.
you were able to get them to form a corporation in the few minutes you were talking, Thitch.
Oh my gosh.
That's how fast you work.
So I look around and then sigh. So do you agree to do you decline my offer to support you in financial business?
I mean, that's not my decision to make, but if you want, I can go upstairs and speak to...
Then how about I speak, since apparently it needs to be talking to someone else, how about I speak to them?
How about I bring him down here?
How about we all go together?
You're not going to leave me much choice in this matter, are you?
Apparently not.
What are the other 2 of you doing?
Follow me, I
with
guess.
Clay.
Oh yeah, okay.
I will.
Clay's
You're
like-
welcome to go up. I'm gonna go watch the sleeping child.
Yeah, I will.
You want to phrase that differently?
No, I'll watch over the sleeping child. There you go.
Thank you. Very well then, follow me.
All right, let me look at this map again.
And he walks towards the side of the room to where the other doors are.
Raven comes back onto my shoulder.
Okay.
If he doesn't open the door for me, then I feel that I must hold the door open.
Yeah,
Or
he
not.
opens up the door and walks in. Are you following?
He doesn't open the door for me? That's quite rude. I tell him, that's quite rude not to open a door for your guests.
I
sorry.
opened the door for you. Does that count?
But you did not hold the door open for me.
Well, the door opens inwards, so I guess he just holds on to it. There, happy.
I walked through.
It doesn't automatically close behind him. I don't really see what the problem here is.
Okay, fine.
It's not a magic door.
Oh, right.
This area is... Oh, this area seems to be the library.
It's a library. Do I see anyone else?
It's just him, but there are currently, several tall bookcases line the walls and a spiral staircase towards towards one side of the room.
Okay. Which way does he walk towards?
Seems to be walking towards the stairway. And are the other two of you following Thitch?
I think it's just me.
So we're splitting the party?
Indeed.
And so what's Earthmover doing if he's not going with the party?
I'm just chilling out watching the child.
Watching the child.
I feel weary of the fact that we've raised some level of alarm. I would like the sleeping member of the party to not get ambushed.
Also, I don't know that. No, I left Earthmover some time ago, so I can't really whisper to him.
You could send the Raven to him.
I read a little quick note on. Wait, can I? Do I have any paper to write on?
Oh, you could press to digitate a message on.
All right, press the digitate message on the back of the Raven.
Well, I think you can only have up to like 3 simple symbols appear. So, actually, is there better? Let me see now. Your magician's wand, you can cast Druidcraft and Prestidigitation.
So I can't write the word prep.
No, but it might have been helpful for you to agree on beforehand about what different symbols that you could create might have represented.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to remember what what Earthmover's runes look like, and I'm gonna try to replicate just one and put it on the back.
Oh yeah, you've probably seen his circle tattoo enough times to know what that looks like.
Yeah, I put that, and on the back of the Raven, the Raven flies to him.
Oh, you're making the mark appear on the Raven. Cool. So
All
yeah,
right.
Earthmover. The bird flies over towards you. Caw-caw. No, I'm just kidding. The bird doesn't make any noise. That'd just be silly. The bird is completely silent as always.
All right, it turns its back towards you, and you see a slight symbol that looks like your tattoo.
Okay.
And then my Raven starts pecking the floor.
I kneel next to the Raven.
And then my Raven looks at the sign and then looks at the floor.
How does it look at the sign? It's on its back.
A bird can.
Oh, right. Fair point. It's a bird.
They preen.
They preen. So it pokes the sign, then pokes at the floor, then does it again.
I'm gonna touch the floor.
It also looks at the chalk. And then attempts to pick it up and try doing the rune. It does a circle.
Wait, where did it get chalk from?
I assume Earthmover has some kind of chalk pouch or something.
Are you giving him chalk?
It looks for the chalk on his body and tries to take one.
Yeah, I doubt that he just carries his chalk out in the open. He doesn't seem like an open carry type.
No. It seems indecent to just walk around with your chalk out. That was a slow burn for you, Chris.
I wasn't paying attention.
Apparently. No, I feel like I have some kind of hip thing, or certainly Thitch would know which pocket my chalk is in to be able to instruct the Raven which pocket to be attacking.
It's basically an extension of me, so it's
yeah,
telling it what to do.
Yeah. All right, I hand that a piece of chalk. Is it trying to draw me something, or is it trying to draw?
Yeah, I don't know if
It's trying to draw.
draw.
It can't. It's a very shoddy circle, and it's like trying to write one of your runes. Actually, wait. I can just write the word prep with the raven.
Are ravens capable of that kind of
manual dexterity?
Like
yeah, make a dexterity check.
All right, yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be hilarious when you write pep instead.
Earthmover transmutes some of the floorboards into pom-poms. I don't know what this is for.
It's a dexterity thing, right?
Yeah. The raven's dexterity, not yours.
Yeah, I know. That's a -4.
It's a +2.
+2, okay. 17 then. It writes like very shoddy words, but you can read the word prep runes. Or prep rune.
That makes sense.
Well, if it's both of those, it's probably going to turn out more like prep runs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true.
And which makes Earthmover go, so like, have to question, is this Thitch's illiteracy or the incompetence of the Raven?
Do I need to run for it?
I also like recognize the mistake and cross out the mistake.
Okay, that's a bit. I don't know if the Raven's capable of this much detail.
No, but it's my eyes, is it not? So I'm like telling it. No.
Yes, but remember, you don't exactly have one-to-one control over the Raven. It obeys your orders, but it's not like an extra.
Okay, fine.
Arm.
I thought it'd be the extension of my eyes. So I guess
you can see it just fine. You just don't know how well you'd be able to correct it.
All right, yeah. Prep runes and it does a shoddy rune.
I'm not. All right, I'll just start chalking in a whole bunch of runes then. So I'm gonna make a defensive barrier around Gordon's sleeping body.
You're like, I have no clue, but sure.
I don't know which runes it wants. I don't know that Thitch knows which runes I do.
I don't.
Or
I
the difference between them. I'm just gonna start drawing things.
Okay. Shall we jump back over to the other group then?
Sure.
Okay, so he leads you up the stairs into what seems to be the second floor of the library, and there's another door that seems to lead to another part of the house. And he says, "Fine, you want to go first this time?" And he gestures towards the door.
No, you can hold the door open for me this time.
He opens the door and does a slight push on it so it opens for you. Happy?
At this point, no. The Raven doesn't come back. It's still...
Yeah.
Like,
And there's another map.
Another map?
Yep.
I'm the map. I'm the map. Okay. Also, this time I prep one of my alcohol beverages from my bag of holding.
Oh, which one?
Do
you bust out the elven wine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you definitely want the diplomatic approach. You're not trying to get this here.
Yes.
Don't know to be relieved or disappointed after all the monsters I made for this. I mean...
What?
Nothing?
I mean,
this house is definitely not a giant mimic.
Do you remember what happened to the goblins in Minnolt Town?
You made friends with them?
We tried to. Wait, yes. Yes.
The goblins, yes. The orcs you scared off. Yes.
What, you wanted us to fight the goblins too?
No. And so yes, so where are the three of you from anyway?
So I'm a little taken aback that he hasn't heard of us before. Oh. So I look at Geralt, I say, what are we exactly? Are we just a traveling group, adventurers?
Yes.
Yeah, but we have gained some infamy.
Infamy, huh?
Infamy or fame?
Or infamy? What?
Hey,
I
I got
think
that
we're
wrong.
just famous. No, we're
We're
not.
just
We,
famous. No, I
Yeah,
guess
we're not.
you're infamous.
am I infamous?
Are you?
Chris, you know what infamous means?
Like dangerous, but like
Or
No,
famous
infamous
for a bad
means-
reason.
yeah, famous for
Yeah,
a bad
famous for-
reason. Because okay, reason why is because the orcs with the beheading.
You did what?
No, I didn't say that in character. I did not say that in
okay.
character. I did not say that in character.
Yeah, we killed a bunch of orcs. Whatever, really.
But I do take back infamous for famous.
Also, I want to make sure that we're not like specifically saying, "Hey, we're after the gems," you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bring that up either. I'm really just focused on the item. So I guess I go in first. Or
After you, Mr. Friend.
I also behold my elven line.
Yes, well, actually, this room isn't where anyone seems to be staying. This just seems to be some sort of a trophy room. Because there's
Trophy room.
several decorative sets of armor set up, and, there's a few chests.
Nice, nice. I guess I could keep following him, right?
Yes. Ah, yes. Yes, this particular room, it was here when we got here. That's not our armor, but sure is a nice set, isn't it?
Wait, so you guys came here?
Yes, we found this building. We didn't build it.
Interesting.
Wow. So did you guys figure out what this building was for?
Hmm.
What was it being used for before you guys?
Seems like a long time ago. This was, the home of an old wizard. Kind of like a tower, but more horizontal.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
That doesn't make sense. You could
Yeah.
just call it the home of a wizard.
Yes. Oh, yes. You don't get my joke, do you? You see, often wizards, they'll erect themselves towers.
Well,
Yes.
I
perform their spells.
understand that, but wizards can also have homes other than in towers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Haven't
but
you ever
this is
seen
a
the
house.
Sterling home in the
This is a house.
animation?
You could have just said a wizard's tower.
If you were a wizard, you would have understood my joke.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Is that a dig?
A fellow wizard would have found that to be comical.
Mm. Oh, so you're a wizard now.
I never claimed to have
I-
not been a wizard.
That's
You said you were an
is
alchemist,
it
though.
racial appropriation? No. What is it? Class appropriation?
I mean, he referred to the act of potion making as being alchemy. He didn't necessarily say he
Oh,
was
yeah,
an
alchemy.
alchemist. I'm sorry, is there a problem?
No, there's not.
No.
Okay.
Your
But-
jokes are just bad.
But yes, we like to keep this area well maintained, and we keep a few of our treasures in those chests over there.
Okay.
Yes, when we were traveling from the old country years ago, our god guided us to this place.
Describe this god to me.
Well, he is Torde. He is the god of thunder.
In the background.
Yes. You see, it was I remember that night. There was a great storm around us, and we didn't know to see this as an omen of good or ill fortune from our god. But through flashes of lightning, we caught a glimpse of this place, so we made haste to it. And upon exploring it, we found that it was, abandoned. So we decided to seek shelter in there, at least through the night, and we found that there were other orc communities in the area. We didn't want to encroach on their territory, so we decided to stay here rather than moving onwards and perhaps not be able to find such good fortune again.
Interesting.
Yes. But anyway,
Moving on.
I should warn you, we've had a bit of a problem with sturges lately.
Sturges?
But as long as you don't disturb them, they won't disturb you.
What are Sturges?
They're kind of like bats.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so how do we not disturb them?
Just
Don't say.
Just don't attack them, okay?
Alright.
Don't freak out when we go in there. Just be careful with your movements. We're going to be airing them out soon, but every so often, just a few of them will fly in, and it becomes a bit of a problem.
Okay.
And he leads you into this hallway.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, you guys see that this hallway seems to be littered with these strange creatures. They seem like almost like a cross between an imp and a bat, really. Yeah, they've got these large 4 red leathery wings and this huge proboscis coming out of the center of their heads. Don't worry, they shouldn't be much of a problem for another day or so. Or in a day, they'll cease being a problem. It's probably a better way to phrase that.
Looks like an anteater.
Yes, I suppose it does. Well, after you. You said you wanted to lead the way.
But I don't know the way. Can you lead it, please?
Yes, of course. Just making another little joke.
Keep your jokes to yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Does Gerald just not like comedy? Sheesh.
Gerald doesn't like orcs.
Oh, wow.
Oh!
Actually, yeah, I could see that being a problem. In his time in the military, he probably had to fight some orcs. And so to clarify, I have your word that once we go in there, you're not going to attack my master or my my fellow orcs?
Yeah, it's just a proposition of business.
Okay, good, because I could aggro these Sturges on you right now, but I don't want to do that.
If you were to aggro these Sturges on us, how would you get out of this?
I have the protection of my god and my fellow orcs. You're in sacred land, but you have not yet received the blessing. And he opens the door to another hallway. Now, quickly, we don't want the Sturges getting out. Do you follow him?
Yes.
Okay. All right, now, and he leads you down to a final hallway, and he says, just wait here a moment, would you? Yeah, he steps into another room.
At this point, does my raven come back to me?
You haven't yet ordered the raven back, so.
All right, it'll stay there.
Yes, and you hear some talking in Orcish coming from the other room.
Question: how related is orc to, like, what's the closest language to orc?
Probably Dwarven.
Dang, do I know Dwarven? Hold up, I do know a little bit of Dwarven.
Yes.
Do I try to, like, make sense?
But then again, it would be a bit like trying to understand a French conversation because you speak Spanish. Or maybe Italian would be a better example.
I get some snippets of words, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, tell me, what words do I hear?
You recognize the word halfling?
Geralt was going to cast Comprehend Languages.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And I presume you're going up against the door to get a clear earful, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you hear a number of voices talking, but mostly it seems to be this this potion brewer that you met and a much deeper voiced orc. Ah, yes. Is there a problem, Brother Light Rain? Oh, well, Master Thunderbolt, there seems to be a bit of a situation. We have some visitors, you say? Are they the ones that laid waste to our brethren outside? Well, yes, but they insist that it was mostly a misunderstanding and that our orcs attacked first. You hear him say with a clear bit of sarcastic emphasis. Now, I don't know what the situation is. I don't want to make them any more aggressive against us. They might be, any number of enemies here. So what is it that you think we ought to do? Well, perhaps we could just talk to them, and if things get a little aggressive, we just be at the ready. Another thing you need to know is that there was a Goliath with them, but I think that the Goliath came to his senses and decided to retreat from this place. But I mean, after all, we are not a violent people. We don't just want to kill them for being here. No, but we must be prepared to defend our home. Very well, bring them in, but tell them to disarm first. And after a few minutes, the wizard comes back out. He says, okay. Yes. Master Frumfagur says that you're welcome to come in, but you have to leave your weapons outside.
Okay. I look at myself. All I have is a bag. Oh wait, I do put down the daggers.
Okay.
The daggers, and what else do I have weapon-wise that I could use, but really...
You have the sheath of
short
a long...
sword, dagger.
You have the sheath of a sword that fits no blade you have yet found.
Yes.
I forgot that was
oh
your
my
trinket.
god,
I
I
haven't made that
completely
up.
forgot about that too.
Yes,
so
I'm glad we remembered that. Actually, I'll work in a story beat about that.
So I take my sheath, I hold it, look at it. It's almost sad that I have to part with it temporarily.
Yes.
I put it down. It's almost so ceremoniously.
I'll see what
All
weapons.
visitors must disarm and hand over any forbidden items.
Do I have to put down my scepter?
Do I have to put down my storage of alcohol? I hold up the bag of holding.
Probably be best if you just took a bottle with you. You get the feeling of, and Michael, if you want, you can try to make a persuasion check for them to not part an old man his walking stick.
Yeah.
Also, reminder: Gerald is blue now.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh!
I know that as well.
So I'm assuming they have an assumption of what kind of type.
Dragonborn he is, yeah.
Though I'm surprised they haven't tried striking him with lightning.
Well, I don't have. Wouldn't I have resistance to lightning?
You don't. But
You have resistance to fire still.
Yeah, I understand that, but why would they attack me with lightning
If they thought he was a blue dragon. Yeah. Maybe that's why they haven't tried yet.
Yeah.
By the way,
okay.
in any way do you signal to Earthmover to come up, or are you just leaving him there, or what? Mostly I just feel bad that we're excluding Andreas from this encounter.
So I'm just worried about the boy, but if the boy is safe with the has defensive runes around him.
I don't have anything with a time delay or enemy approaches.
Can you rig it to explode?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's not a thing I can do. I don't have glyph of warding, which is a.
If you want, you can bring him with you.
Sure.
I don't want to carry the child. I can, but I thought my child carrying days were over.
Or you can just leave him and hope he'll be safe. I
guess.
You can put him in the side room.
Actually, I can hope that with that much chalk on the ground, people are going to look at it and go, I don't feel like messing with that. I'll head on up.
Okay. Yeah, so I assume that the raven just like starts doing wing signals.
Yeah.
For those of you at home, 3 of the 4 people in the call are gesticulating wildly.
All right, so we send Earth Mover up.
Yeah, you get the feeling that the bird wants to show you something. Do you follow the bird?
Yes, I'll follow the bird.
Okay.
As he walks up the goes into the room, walks up the stairs, sees the treasure, goes across the hall of sturgeon.
Oh yeah, this is important. Yeah, so it guides you past the treasure room. Does that pique your interest at all?
And the bird's leading me right past it.
Yes.
But isn't Earth Mover tempted by worldly treasures?
I'll poke my head in. What does it look like?
So this room, it's got 3 chests in it and 4 very nice sets of suits of armor. Each of those suits of armor, it looks like this is a well-maintained room, and they each have a longsword next to them on display.
Is there a door to this room?
Yes. So basically, it's a 2-story library that opens. That door opens into the into this treasure area. Then there's another door to the storage hallway.
Okay, I'm just gonna carefully close this door for them. Just.
Yeah, you don't want the bats getting into the treasure room.
This doesn't need to be flaunting. Do I even know the bats exist?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm just. This doesn't need to be flaunted to anybody walking by. I'm just gonna close this and keep walking with the bird.
It's part of the way that you get in. Like it's.
Oh, I have to walk through this room.
Yes, it's probably more of a sitting room really than a treasure room.
Okay.
Yeah, there's another map if you want to check that out.
No. I was wondering how you were describing all these things the way that you were. That makes sense. Why are there... Oh, I guess that's the bats.
Not bats.
Sturgeons. Well, I'll keep following the bird.
Yeah. Oh, right. The Ravan. The Ravan's in the situation. Yep, just leads you past all of these. It's like very careful not to fly into any of them.
This is freakish. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna ignore this.
Okay. And Earth Mover catches up with you, and the potion orc from before says, "Oh, Goliath, you've returned."
Yes.
Are you going to be coming in here with us?
Sure.
Yes. That You're going to need to leave your weapons at the door, though.
Cool. I set down the hammer.
Yep. The hammer that's larger than Thitch.
Yeah.
You also put down the pan?
I guess. I mean, to be fair, Earthmover has like a lot. Earthmover has a club, a staff, a
frying pan.
He's got some knives.
His chalk.
He's just unloaded. No, he's not putting the chalk down.
Okay, yeah.
Not this time.
Yeah, it's another one of those Sinbad scenes.
Yes.
All right, boys, time to go. What? But I just finished unpacking the...
Yeah. Good scene from a good movie. Thank you, DreamWorks.
Michael, are you listening to music?
That's
or is that Chris's guitar playing?
Chris is playing, yeah.
But okay, yeah. So you guys are leaving your weapons and walking in.
Yeah.
Yes. So then this is an upper room area, but there's actually a nice rug laid out on the floor. But towards the side of the room, there is a giant hole in the ground that you assume leads down to the first floor. And there are 5 orcs in here, all of them wearing robes, and the oldest looking one, who seems to be wearing a slightly different robe from the rest, rises to greet you.
I 100% thought that was the rug.
Yeah, I realized pretty quickly why I needed to make that distinction. You got a hole. Oh! Man, it's too bad Gordon's not here because he's a carpenter.
Yeah.
You have a hole in the ground.
Yes, we're still working to repair the damage to this place.
What from?
That hole was there when we arrived.
When was that?
About 2 years ago.
Okay.
Were we here 2 years ago?
No.
In Middletown?
No. It was a few months at most.
Oh, right. It was physically, it was almost a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So, what brings you to our home? Why did you lay waste to my brethren?
So, they attacked first. I mean, look, they were really aggressive hogs for some reason.
Yes. And he looks, so, which one of you is the monk?
I look at our clothes.
That's what I assumed. He looks over to, one of the other orcs. Yes. Brother Haygrieve, do you want to introduce yourself to him? And one of them stands up, and he says, "Hello there, travelers. My name is Brother Haygrieve. I sensed the arrival of your ally here when you came upon our grounds."
Huh. Was it you who I sensed earlier?
Yes, I attempted to reach out to you.
Interesting.
Now, we all wish to know what you need from us.
So, Earthwood, would you like to talk about the item that we need to retrieve?
I can do it.
Yeah.
So we came here to. We were sent by some pretty important people to come retrieve a amulet of sorts, and I was told by one of your subordinates that you have it.
Oh, one of your subordinates. I thought Gerald said one of my subordinates.
Oh,
As
no.
if Thitch and Earthwood worked for him. I thought that's what you were going for with that.
No.
Okay, yeah, one of your subordinates. That makes sense for him to say in this situation.
Well, yes. There is an item that we need to retrieve. And I'm sure you do not want bloodshed or any violence of that matter. And so
Master from Fagar, he takes out from his robe around a necklace on a chain that seems to be the matching half of what the Grand Chancellor showed you.
I believe that's it.
You want to take our holy relic from us?
Holy relic?
Holy
Yes.
relic? How is it holy? Does it channel lightning?
This relic aids us in attempting to connect across the plains to our god.
Which plane is that?
He, I suppose, is originally a resident of the plane of air.
Huh.
I mean, he is Thunder, child of the storm goddess.
I would have thought something else, but sure. That kind of makes sense. So how is this relic? It just connects you to him?
I suppose you could use it to connect to other planes, but it helps us, I suppose, overcome that divide.
So if there was something better, do you need this relic?
It's important to us.
But you don't need it.
And if I had Gordon, I could set up a.
Are you leveraging
little-
our lives against it?
I'm not. I mean, I can see how important it is to you, because for me to connect to my god, it takes a couple steps. But I can see how important it is to you. Right, girl? How important it is for you to connect to your god?
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure.
And the voice says to you, "Oh, are you finally referring to us as your god?"
So,
No, it probably doesn't do that, actually.
I'm more talking towards the monk. So, what are you doing here?
I'm a member of this holy order.
And how well do you communicate with your god? Like, explain this to me. I don't understand how you guys use an item and not a ritual.
Well, the item is part of the ritual.
Yet, the people downstairs were easily able to call upon your god and easily gain its powers.
Well, it all depends on what it is you're trying to do. It's like how, great diviners might use specialized tools like crystal orbs to increase their powers.
Then there's probably a better way of going about it, right? Why not? I'm sure. I ponder for a second and say, why not be... Well, okay, I'm trying to think as to maybe if there was you don't have to worship other gods, but there might be a way for gods to be able to help you communicate.
A messenger? The master asks.
Yeah, kind of. I'm sure my god acts in such ways because he must go across the plains to reach beings who die.
Perhaps we should get to know one another better. What are your names?
My name is Thitch.
Geralt.
This is Geralt. And to my... Oh, wait. I'm not even in the middle.
No.
This is Geralt, and I point over. That's Earthmover.
And what do your names mean?
Well, I'm going to roll for this. Can I reroll ones in this case?
Well, what are you trying to do?
So I'm trying to pull off that my name is a rewritten way of my gods. I gave myself a new name.
Well, what are you trying to say in character?
So my name is Thitch.
Okay, yes.
And I was going to introduce my god later. Actually, no. That's the truth. My name is Thitch. That's it. What does it mean? Basically, it is a rewritten name. It's a rewritten and slightly adjusted name of my god.
So you're named after your god?
I named myself after my god. What is he writing down?
Yes. Well, as I told you, my name is Master Frum Fagor. That means Thunderbolt.
Okay.
Our alchemist, he is El Debu. That means lightning branch. And Haygrieve, our monk, as you understand monk to mean, his name means light rain.
Okay.
Yes, we also have Skydrink, Cloud Seer, and Clear Sky.
Clear Sky. Did your god like him much?
Clear Sky is one who has taken an oath of silence to contemplate deeper on the lesser heard sounds of the world. So he seeks to hear thunder when others do not.
Okay.
Skydrink, on the other hand, earned his name by trusting in the god to provide for him, and after nearly dying of thirst, a rain brought him back to life.
Okay.
Wait, I said drink twice, didn't I? A stone drink and a sky drink.
I don't remember.
In that case, the other guy's Stonefall.
Mm-hmm.
Stonefall is a great warrior who brings down upon his enemies like a clap of thunder. And Light Rain is because of the way he's able to so elegantly move.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Yes, and Haygrieve Light Rain says, yes, I am what's known as a Way of the Cyclone Monk.
Oh. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, Thitch, Gerald Earthmover, you seek our holy relic, but what can you give us for it? If there is anything that can be given in exchange for such an item.
Well, I was intrigued because my god saw, instead of violence, an opportunity for both your community and mine to grow. You would have support and ways of money as well as a way of life and protection.
Your gold cannot replace our god.
Of course not. But your god is not an item.
No.
And I'm sure your faith would need to grow stronger for you to not use the item. So it could be considered an opportunity to test yourself as well as grow in your own faith.
Well, do you ever tie your arm behind your back while in a fight to test yourself?
Yes, I've done it once.
What really? Is that part of your monk training?
I'm sure actually at one point we should have probably done no hands, both hands behind our backs, and taught self-defense on how to defend ourselves without our arms.
Yes, if we
Or
have
maybe
this
tying our
resource, we
leg.
will use it.
I would have, my character would have known this, but I forget. What was the importance of us getting this item back?
It
Out of
can
character.
open a portal to the to a tower at the center of the endless maze that can help you guys get a gem. That's one of the treasures of the tower.
I forget which. We don't know what gem it is, right?
No.
I'm sure we just need to borrow it for a little bit. I'm sure we could bring it back.
You'll have to leave quite the collateral with you.
Business. And my 2 trusted allies, I would say.
Very well, then. I have an idea. And he steps back, and you notice that he seems to be... and he starts saying in Orcish, which I guess Gerald can currently understand. Because you're casting Comprehend Language?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And he says, as true as the sky, as true as the storm, as true as the lightning that guides our way, let truth be spoken here. And a circle, and a glowing circle appears in the middle of the room.
Oh.
He's casting Zone of Truth.
Or that's right.
Okay.
Are you in charge of this group, Thitch?
I'm in charge of myself.
Earth Mover, Gerald, will you please join us in this ritual then?
I guess.
Oh, and actually, yeah, that's a huge circle. No, he probably did. Anyway, he basically made a glowing circle form in the center of the room, and he's beckoning you to join him in it. In case you missed it, he just cast a Zone of Truth, Andreas.
Come again?
Casted Zone of Truth.
Okay.
So tell me, do you intend on returning this artifact to us? If
I'm
we
sure-
allow you to use it?
I'm sure after we use it, I don't see a reason why they would have use of it.
Do we remember why he wanted the other half of this?
It'll let him open up it'll let the Grand Chancellor, he'll give you the other half so that way you guys can open up a portal to the tower at the center of the Endless Maze.
Okay. I don't see what use we would have for it after we use it. So no, if it is up to us, I see no reason we couldn't give it back.
Do you find it likely that it would not be up to you then?
Not particularly, no.
It'd be like 40% our choice.
I think there's a better shot of it than that.
Oh wait, no, but remember these are Thitch numbers.
Oh.
Yeah, his only goes up to 50.
What?
He doesn't know how to count.
I do know how to count.
No.
I have navigated with maps, you know. I'm a navigator.
Are you guys arguing this in character?
Yes.
Yeah, I like you mentioned that the Zone of Truth, it's making you speak your mind more than you normally would. Tell me, Thitch, where did you get this bird from? And he gestures to the raven hovering over you.
Oh. Raven Queen is not a deity, right?
She is.
She is.
Well, remember, a person can worship more than one god.
Oh, right. Okay. I received it from a deity.
May I ask which one?
One of the gods of death.
You're familiar with the various death gods then?
Yes. My god is one of the gods of death.
And so then you're of course familiar with the rivers of death?
Yes.
Very well then. Can you make me an oath in the name of the river Styx that you will return our artifact to us when you are done with it? If you, I suppose, as long as to the best of your ability. I mean, I won't. If you die along the way, I suppose I can't hold your corpses to return it. But
first off, the river Styx sucks. He's evil.
What?
I'm sure he's he keeps he's just weird. I call him weird.
No, this isn't the forest guy that's been talking to you. That's
Oh, it's not the forest guy?
No. This is.
I'm confused. I'm confused beyond.
Okay, so you remember how you guys got to Alnig? The ferryman took you there on the river
I got
Styx?
that, and we crossed the. There was a river Styx,
and the Raven Queen warned you that since the river Styx, when the Styx was god of the underworld, basically they represented death as an absolute concept, the truth of death. And as such, it's a really bad idea to lie. Well, literally on the Styx, or to lie when swearing on the Styx.
So I see no problem with. I would say.
So he's asking you to make a supernatural oath off of the body of a dead god, effectively.
I see no reason why not. I would have to be the only one to make that, though.
Why? Do you not trust your comrades to hold themselves to it?
No, I think them incapable of holding that oath.
Then how do I know they will not betray you and keep this item for themselves?
Because I will be the one to keep it. I will be one to bring it back, at least.
Very well, then. Thitch, monk of the death gods, do you swear to our holy congregation upon the river Styx that when you are finished using this artifact for your quest, you will return it to us in a timely manner?
I swear on the river Styx that I will return it to the best of my ability, so that it will be here for you to be able to worship your god.
And Thitch, when you say that, you kind of feel something within you. And I'm going to say that because of your mastery of Ki, you're able to feel it in a more pronounced way than a normal person would, almost like something locking onto your soul. And you realize that whatever you just did is going to have real supernatural consequences if you mess this up. Very well, then.
Question. How many gods of death am I now, in kind of connection with? The forest, there's the Raven Queen, there's the vampire, now the river Styx, and apparently this new god of death. So 5.
3 or 4, maybe 5. Yes. Very well, then. And he takes it off of his neck and hands it to you. I'm trusting you now. Oh, but then again, I suppose you're the one that should be worried if you're going to break such an oath.
Well, all that I have to do is go up against the river Styx, would I not?
Master Thitch, do you realize what you've just done here?
Not exactly, but then again, I've already have 4 other oaths with 4 other death gods too. What's another one?
Yep. Well, so is that pretty much where you guys want to call it for tonight then?
I want to add a couple stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So, but in return, you will swear on the god Kith to follow and help him be able to commune with your own, to help him in any way to grow as a god of death?
Oh no, I'm not making such open-ended oaths. And besides, you have what you want from this.
No, I don't. I don't. They do.
I've given you the amulet you need.
I said I would return it to you guys, right?
You swore that you would.
All right. I never said when.
Oh, by the way, Brother Light Rain, he does approach you, Thitch.
Yes.
You are quite the monk.
Can I kind of... I do have the stone. Hold up. Wait a second. Does anything happen with the stone?
Not yet, but you might be able to use the Thanatos gem to learn more about the oath you just made. Yes. And he says to you, if you've got a bit of time before you leave, I might be able to teach you a few things I know about being a monk.
Key related? Like how you... I'm curious about that.
Yes, I can teach you some of my cyclone techniques.
I'd rather learn about the key because... But yes, I'll also learn that too.
Oh yes, learning how to sense ki the way I do, it's something that you'll figure out on your own as you study and learn more as a monk and grow in power.
Didn't I live like 20 years as a monk?
Yep. So you probably do know how to do this kind of like you were taught, but you don't necessarily have the practice in it.
Yeah.
You see, do you know what ki is, Thitch?
Kind of understand it, yes.
Ki is the connection between the spirit and the physical world. When utilized properly, it lets one impose the spiritual will upon this material realm to alter what we consider to be the laws of reality within a new set of laws. In my case, this gives me a connection to the plane of wind. And can channel the power of my god through my own body by utilizing my ki. So as you might use yours to knock a foe down or push them back, I pack the powers of thunder and lightning through my very arms.
Interesting.
Which can also allow me to knock them down by channeling that thunder. I can also walk along the winds, allowing me to leap from great heights and land unharmed, and practically soar through the air.
Interesting. Shall we keep talking over here in the corner?
Well, are you trying to exclude the other two?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the thing moving so that we could kind of put it to a closing point instead of
okay. And yeah, so with him offering you this mysterious promise of powers, I guess where we can call this session. Chris, if you want, I guess we can have a side session sometime this week.
Sure.
But until next time, I've been your host and Dungeon Master, Drew, being joined by
Earth Mover
and
Thitch.
Gerald. Oh shit.
see you next time.